It has been raining and snowing and sleeting non-stop since I dropped that the last time I was out there and filmed with my wife. I put the rubber duck out there, and I was hoping that I could get out there like within, maybe 4 days, 5 days, but it has not cooperated at all with the weather. Now I'm stuck behind a bus. Great. Anyway, the weather report said that there was supposed to be like a little window of about 3 hours where the rain was supposed to stop. Well, I'm in that window right now, and they lied. It's still raining. But I'm going to head out there anyway. I've got everything as hillbilly waterproofed as I could. My audio recorder, the EMF detector, even this camera here. I didn't bring my other camera, the backpack camera, just because it'd be too much to deal with right now with all the rain. I'm trying to prevent rain from getting into the camera and frying all the electronics. So I've got a bag for this one. Currently have it off. I won't be able to have the screen out like I have it right now so that I can see what's going on. So bear with me. The zooms and panning and such, I won't really be able to see it so well. So, I will do my best to get as clear shots as I could, and hopefully I can find that same group that I had located last time I was out. I guess that's now. It was on a Tuesday. Today is Wednesday, so it's been 15 days. 15 days since I dropped the duck off out there, and caught the very, very clear, up close and personal female squatch. Most likely she was the alpha female of the troop, but I got her up to 5 feet away. That's how close I was able to get to him. Actually, me and my wife both. Kind of weird is she was standing further back in this little grove, what we call a reclamation grove. The Forstmeister, they plant these little trees really close together and in little plastic tubes, and they just let them grow, trying to reclaim some of the old growth forest. That's what her troop was hiding in. Anyway, she was about 10 feet away when the camera first caught her. She was hiding kind of behind a tree. As I panned away to the left, instead of retreating, she actually came forward to within about 5 feet and hid behind 2 trees. You can see it on the video that 10 minutes and 14 seconds, 10 minutes, 15 seconds, you can see her left eye, the left side of her mouth, peeking through, and part of her right arm actually, peeking through the tree. But at 10 minutes and 4 seconds, she's standing right there. I got a clear view of the face. That's pretty freaking amazing. When I found it, it scared the hell out of me. I'd never actually seen one like that. All of the previous Sasquatches that I had seen were the traditional dark-skinned, bulbous nose, big, hairy ape-looking type critters. This one was different. It was almost like gray skin stretched over a skull really tight. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, I am coming up to. That's how close we are, right there. They are in that forest right here to the left, and most likely over here to the right also. That's where my mother-in-law works. Right up there is a little old folks home. But right here you can get the first view. Maybe if I've got this aiming out the window instead of in the A-pillar. That's the meadow behind this row of trees, or row of bushes. You'll see it here clearly in a second. Perhaps. Here we go. That's the meadow. It's a big, huge, gigantic meadow. The real reason that I'm coming out here is primarily because the Forstmeister is currently tearing down all of their structures. I don't know why. It's kind of, in fact, they're here too. logging it out. Let me get this car turned around. There goes somebody with their dog who's probably walking the trails. But anyway, they are tearing out all of the structures. At the distal Klinga site, there was a set of structure. There's probably had to be at least 12, 15 structures there that were beautifully made, beautifully crafted. And when my wife and I came out here 2 weeks ago, there's an arch there I wanted to take an azimuth reading off of, because it's pointing directly over to another arch at this site. It's like 1.3 kilometers apart, and they've got those arches pointing directly at each other at plus or minus 0 degrees on the azimuth. It's pretty amazing how they were able to do that. I don't know. But they are over in that section of the woods over there. I don't know if you can see it too much, there's a little light, but there we go. They are over in there. But what I want is, so all those trees got, or all those structures got disassembled, and all of the logs were laid, stacked up when we got there. I was pretty disappointed. In fact, you know, I was upset. I was very upset. I really wanted my wife to be able to see it. The south end of this meadow is a big mountain. So right at the end of this meadow, there's a little strip of trees, and then there's a creek. And on the other side of that set of trees is a mountain that goes up to a ridge top, where there is a bunch of really, really, really old growth forest over there. 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, I was out here. When I first discovered that, I shot about 2.5 hours of video, and new camera, wasn't familiar with it. I had 2.5 hours of absolutely, completely worthless video. I was not able to save or salvage any of it, not even any still pictures of it, which really upset me. But what I noticed at the time was that the Forstmeister had some workers down there and was logging the south end of this meadow. And so it's like this little strip of trees, then there's the creek, and then there's this mountain that probably has 50 or 60 structures on it. With him logging the south end of the meadow, and with what he did at the distal Klinga site, disassembling all those tree structures, my biggest fear is that they're going to go over there and take those apart as well. So I'm out here, you know, suffering in the rain and hope like heck I don't burn out the camera. I'm hoping those structures are still there. If they are, I'm going to go ahead and climb that mountain into the old growth section that's at the top of the ridge, see what I find. It's very, very dark up there. They like to hide in the dark shadows. So I'll flip this thing on to the low light setting and see what I find out there. Anyway, I'm about, I don't know, a quarter of a mile to the place where I'm going to be parking. So I thought I would stop here first. Anyway, thanks. Out. Here we are at the meadow. That mountain over there, that is the mountain. They are actually where those structures were, way down inside that, all the way down there at the end. If you look closely, you can see the pointer tree right there. Behind that pointer tree, it's actually two trees that come together. They're very large, very, very large trees that were pushed over. They make a pointer. There is a twin to that one over there on the absolute opposite side. That tree right there. I couldn't get in behind that one yet because of the pigs. There's wild pigs all throughout here. But this little strip of trees right here, you can see that there's grass behind it. It's just a strip of trees that comes out. That is where I found them before. So this section right in there is where I had found all the structures and all the damage from the pigs. And there's openings in this forest right there, right directly ahead of me, is where I filmed there's a grove back there. And that's where I got the female and the others that were laying down in the ground. I'll put the pictures up. Bigfoot Tony did an absolutely fantastic job finding them in there. And then over here, This little section right here is an absolutely gorgeous little place where my wife was sitting, and down below is a little valley. But right behind that section of trees there is another one of those groves, and it's just a small reclamation grove, probably 50 meters by 50 meters square, where they planted a bunch of little trees probably 10 or 15 years ago. Those trees are now grown up. They're very, very close together, which makes the forest extremely dark. Uh-oh, here comes the rain again. I better get this thing in a bag. But anyway, I have to go over to that location over there and get the duck, or see if the duck has been taken. I don't know if it has or not, but I'll see. If it has been taken, great. Who knows? Maybe they left something in, to replace it with. If it hasn't, I'll grab it and maybe take it someplace else. But my main focus for the day is to go over up there into that, climb that mountain right there. We call Bigfoot Mountain. That's going to be the new name for it, because of the amount of structures that was there. I don't know if he's torn them out like he did at Distelklinga or not, but we will find out. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off and get this thing bagged up. I'll turn it on as we start walking back down that area. Wow, the rain has really suddenly started to come down. Checking the weather report, and of course it changed again for the hour. It's supposed to really just be crazy. Oh crap, I left the other door open and now my driver's seat is getting completely soaked. Hold one. Alright, the rain is coming in from the west, and I just checked the weather report for Waldenbuch, which is the next town over, and it's supposed to be clear there. So I'm hoping that little patch of clear will get here, and won't have to worry about getting my camera so wet. As I'm sitting here getting my raincoat on, I was just kind of keeping the corner of my eyes open to the grove on the other side of the meadow, where I'd caught the Sasquatches 2 weeks ago, 15 days ago. And sure enough, there's a nice big black form standing behind a black tree, and that tree stayed put, but that black form kind of melted off to its left a little bit, dropped down and disappeared into the forest. So they are here, and they know I'm here. I've got eyes on me right now. Hopefully this rain will stop and I'll be able to take a walk over there and see what we see. So until then, I keep catching movement over there in that grove. I don't know if it's my eyes playing tricks on me or what, but I'm going to go ahead and try to put get a nice zoom in while I'm looking at the side of this through a plastic bag. See if you guys can see anything. Sitting on the seat of my car, it's not much of a smooth pan, but I'll see what I can do. Usually what they do is they watch your eyes, what you're looking at. Of course the one with the camera is usually the one that's left alone, but I'm going to hope that they're not actually seeing what I'm doing and they notice that I'm looking away. And maybe they'll do some movement. I wish I could see a little clearer through this bag what's going on, what I'm actually focusing on. I'm gonna pick the camera up and point it over the top of look over the top of the camera and see if I can get a decent shot at where I keep seeing the movements. Here we go. Right straight ahead. I've decided, while I still had energy before climbing the mountain, to go over here where there's the other pointer tree there. About halfway between where I am standing now and that tree, there's another opening in the forest, like that one. That's where I went in to put the duck on the stump. But this section of woods here is a reclamation grove. You can see how dark it is. That's where they like to hang out. Over here, however, now that the leaves are off the trees, I don't even have to go back into it. You can see a lot of the structures back there. There's a big X right there. There's another teepee there where the bark has been stripped off. There's an arch right there that's pinned down. I just heard movement back in there, over in this section. They're probably coming to see what it is. This whole area right here is like, it's grown up like a blind. They've got sticks woven in there just to make it a little thicker even when the leaves are down. But that's where they like to hang out. There is more structures inside there. Most of them are X's and teepees. But there's lots of boxes on the ground, so this is what you guys are calling a wallow. Yeah, right, there's a part of it. Where did that X go? You can see the leaners there. There's a lot of them back in there. And typically a leaner, now there's the X right there. Hopefully you can see that since I can't see the screen. I'm just like looking over the top of the camera. But typically leaners they denote trail, trail markers for them. Especially these big ones like this. They're every single one of them that I've seen is right next to a Bigfoot trail. So yeah, there are markers. There's another one. There's another leaner. Actually, that's a teepee there. You come around the corner. There's three sticks, leaned up against a big tree. Let's see, get a little closer, see what we see. I'm not going to go all the way back in there, but here's the X. More leaners, boxes on the ground. You can see them on the ground right there. A lot of stuff inside there, but nothing like serious construction stuff. That's pretty much over on the mountain and behind this little grove. There's a lot of stuff behind this grove. I'm wondering if I should just like walk on in there. There's a trail just inside this. I don't know if the pigs are the ones that tore that up and made that, or if it's their trail. Considering how many leaners there are on this side, and of course X marks the spot, it could be their trail. Anyway, I think what I'll do is I'll stay on the outside out here and just get to the duck and start what it was that I came out here to do, which was climb that mountain, see if those structures are still there or if the Forstmeister took them away. Okay, I got birds doing alarm sounds off to my left over here, which would actually be where the duck is. So if they were in here, they've probably scooted off to the left to a fallback position. So that's where I'm going to head. I'm going to head towards that squawking bird. And I'm going to leave the camera running. And what I will do is, as I'm walking along here, I will point it off to the woods, just in case you guys catch something that I don't. I don't know, there could be one 15 feet away from me right now that blends so well into its background that I can't even see it. But that's one thing about having an HD camera. Even though the footage may not be super IMAX clear footage, the camera will pick them up. It's been kind of a real, wow, look at these foot tracks. Wow. Now keep the camera into the woods. Everybody's seen footprints before. That is pretty amazing. So there's another arch over an X right there. There's the arch, goes over like that and points out over there. Now I know for a fact, in fact I can see it from here. I don't know if the camera can because I don't have it zoomed out anymore. I can see a trail over there with leaners. And that arch is pointing right at it. I'll bet if I went over there and took an azimuth reading off of that arch and shot an azimuth to that opening, they would match. So for whatever reason, this particular clan, or maybe it's normal, wow, there's a structure that went to the ground. Maybe it's common for Bigfoot in Germany, I don't know. They seem to be using arches as directional markers, almost like a three-dimensional map. Oh, there's another little opening right there. That poor tree has been destroyed. So I wonder. Yeah, I think I need to go in. I don't think I can get to the duck unless I go back into the forest right over here. So that's what I'll do. I'll follow their trail. That's how I got to it, to put the duck in there in the first place. Right here. Now I really have to be careful. There's a tremendous amount of extremely large wild hogs. Most of what you see here, this ground is all tore up. Very, very trampled, all these leaves. Most of that has been because of the wild hogs. And hopefully I don't run into wherever it is that they sleep at during the day. They're extremely active at night. And I don't want to run into them. Anyway, back there in that dark forest, that's where I think if they're here right now, most likely that's where they're at. There is another reclamation plot, or reclamation grove, down this trail quite a ways, up pretty close to where the big silver pointer tree is. So somewhere between that and where my duck is, or should be, this is quite. That's a nice little X with a pointer in the middle of it. It's also got a broken limb crossing it. Hopefully you can see that. It's right there. God, I hope this is catching it, since I can't see the screen. But there's an X that goes all the way up in that tree, all the way down. Over here is the other leg of it. It goes all the way up there. In the center, there's some branches in the middle with a broken limb across the top right there. And then here's that arch. It's actually connected to it on the back side of it. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. There's another one of those pinned arches that it seems like what they do is they take these things when they're young. They pin them down and they leave them like that and let the tree grow and grow and grow and grow. And over, I don't know, a couple of 100 meters behind me, there's where the other arch is that points over to Distal Klinga. That thing is huge. It's like 25, 30 feet tall. At least 40, maybe 50 feet long. Giant hardwood that was tweaked and torqued over like that when it was young and allowed to grow that way. So, and it actually goes between three larger trees that keep it bent. So I'm just kind of panning back here, back and forth. Hopefully I'm aiming at the right place. This bag is like completely useless except for keeping things dry. I cannot see what's going on at all in the camera. But it allows me, this has a touch screen on it, and it allows me to actually use the touch screen through it. I may have to give it a shake before I touch it. So anyway, here's the trail. This one is the hogs. This is their trail that goes up through all the way up through this back of this stuff. I'm looking for tracks as I walk, and it doesn't look like there are. Track there. Next one there. Next one there. There's one over there. There. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Duck is gone. The light stick is still there. So they came and they took it. Here's where Mr. Duck was. That is very, very cool. So I expect at some point while I'm out here that I will hear that thing squeak. That is seriously cool. They left the light stick though. That thing was, I put it up probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and put the light stick on it. The thing, it's military grade. It'll go for 8 to 10 hours. Very, very bright. I just wanted to make sure that they caught it. There are tracks down around here. There's actually quite a few tracks through here that are not pig. These are big size tracks. There's some more over there. here where the ground is pretty messed up. This one, for instance, right here is pointed downhill. Let's see. There's the heel, the toe. Toes are right there. So that is, I have a size 11.5 boot on a pretty good sized track. And the next one would be down there. That is pretty cool. Behind here is supposed to be where that trail is. I got another leaner over there, and another couple of arches. Another leaner. This could be. I know that other trail that runs, the recreation trail that runs up to the mountain, Woolberg Term, is back there somewhere. It shows up on Google Earth. Once you get in, I think it's 300 feet, 300 feet above the ground is when it actually shows up. So, alright, well, I know that Mr. Duck is gone. The light stick is still there. And it doesn't look like they left me anything in return, but that's okay. It's only my first gifting for this group, so I will take what's left of the dead light stick, put it in my pocket. I'll take it out of here so we don't leave trash in the woods. Anyway, I am going to head up the mountain. Let's go do it.